It appears I'm what they call fox-touched. That's what the sailors whispered anyway. Guess it's official now. My eyes have shifted from green to gold. Just what I needed. I've heard a bit about the gods here. There was one, Alun, cast from another plane. They say Alun made us, then died fighting another god, the one that gave rise to the Drow, my mother's people. Or Corinthians, I suppose, is the proper name. At least that's what they told me. Funny how I never heard much of this back at the orphanage. Maybe they didn't care to tell us. Maybe it didn't matter. Dead gods make for quiet temples. And Niles? Why didn't he mention any of this lore? Could this be why he sent me to Tessalon? Was it my eyes? Or the visions? Ugh, the vision. The one I had on the ship that first night. I try not to think of it. It clings to me like smoke, always just behind my eyes. I want to believe it can be changed. I have to. Because if it comes true, if that world becomes reality, life won't be worth living. We'd be reduced to animals, ruled by strength and guided by whatever shreds of morality we claim to have left. Morality. Weakness, dressed in prettier words. What was the vision? There's something reaching into me. What is this? Whatever it is, I can feel it. I can't stop it, but I can control what it sees. It can scratch at the door all it wants. I'm still the one holding the key. Let's talk chess. The pawns, they're nothing. Sacrifices. Everyone protects the king, but why? The king is weak, slow. He has no power. It's the queen that holds the board together. But even she is meaningless without the game. Because the game doesn't end when a piece dies. It ends when the king falls. Still, all of it, every move, every sacrifice, every win, it's meaningless without the player. And even the player doesn't move the pieces. Energy does. A thought, a signal, an invisible force that no one sees, but everything obeys. The brain tells the hand moves the queen topples the king. Remove the brain. The hand fails to even twitch, useless. The board stays still. The pieces gather dust. And maybe that is what I saw in my vision. Anyway, the ship is taking the long route across the bay. Storms, they say. Cowards. Maybe the storms are a test. Maybe they're here to divide the strong from the soft. But as long as I get to the city, that's all that matters. We docked at last. The city, floating, with a glowing bridge stretching out across the water like a thread of light. That's where I need to go. Then I saw him. A tabaxi. I read about them in a book on the ship. He is cat-like, with golden tufts in his ears. Gold like my eyes. He is bouncing like a cub seeing its first sunrise. I don't know why, but I felt drawn to him. Maybe it's the childlike wonder. Maybe he's just never seen a city before. He should count himself lucky. Cities are built on pain and boots. The poor struggle. The rich crush. The smart learn to become the brain that controls the foot. And the foot controls the boot. His name is Blitz. Blitz says we can't cross the bridge tonight. Priests or monks are turning people away. Claims it disappears until morning. I wonder if I could charm them. Surely the bridge wouldn't vanish with us walking on it. We are chosen, so they say. But no, let's wait. This gives me time to study him. Blitz, I mean. Learn who it is that I've been tied to. I suggest a tavern. He agrees. I propose a plan, one that's worked before. I am wearing my best dress, low cut. Just enough leg, just enough curve, especially if I lean the right way. Men are predictable creatures. Catch their eye, and the rest of them usually follows. The idea is simple. Find a noble, get him to invite me to his room. Then with a subtle charm spell, or sleep spell, if needed, I make the room mine. Blitz slips in through the door or window, and by morning we're long gone, across the bridge. The noble, he'd brag. Of course he would. He took a beautiful woman to his room, me. I'd be doing him a favor. He'd be a local legend. It worked just fine on the ship. I ended up with a first-class bed while the merchant slept like a baby, on the floor. I heard the rumors afterward, the stories he told. That kind of talk brings attention, and attention is power. Besides, he got the best sleep of his life. Not everyone is lucky enough to share a room with a future goddess. But Blitz, poor Blitz, he gets this expression like his tail met a bear trap, and offers to pay for my room. No magic required. Imagine that. I accept, silently hoping he doesn't want anything in return. We may share a room, but that's all. And if he gets ideas, well, sleep spells work on tabaxi too. At the tavern, the bartender is a very thin halfling woman darting back and forth like a squirrel on fire. As we approach, the door swings open. A turtle. I believe that is how you say it. Snapping turtle shell. Massive hammer. Anchor strapped to his back. Gladiator, apparently. Turok. He's followed by a horned female. Tiefling, I think. Name's Clarity. Both showed signs of being fox-touched. 3 new races in under an hour. My whole childhood I saw only humans. Strange times. The halfling bartender caught Turok's eye the moment we walked in. He asked, loudly, bluntly, if there was anywhere in this town he could get into a fight. I half expected someone to call for the guards. Instead, she grinned. Turns out she and her family run a little underground ring. Blitz, meanwhile, asked if I wanted food. I asked if he was buying. He wasn't. So I settled for asking the bartender for a few slices of bread. I've eaten worse. I've eaten slime scraped from the bottom of a fish barrel. She looked me over, frowned, and said I was too skinny, then handed me a bowl of soup. Free soup, no charm spell, no manipulation. Just soup. Fine. I forgive the insult. Lucky for her. Or I'd have turned her earrings into molten slag with an acid arrow. We sat down, and soon the halflings approached, ready to start the fight. Turok naturally was in. Blitz and Clarity decided to join too. I decided it had been a few hours since my last spell, and agreed to join my newfound companions. No magic. They insisted. That made me twitch. It had been hours since I'd cast anything. I could feel the weight of unspent magic in my blood, like a hand pressed against a glass window, desperate to be let out. I missed the rush, the feeling of control. But they wanted a fair fight. Fairness? Don't make me laugh. There's no such thing. If one side is fast and the other strong, the fight is not fair. It's balanced. If one side wears armor and the other has bows, that's tactics, not fairness. Magic counters armor. Speed counters power. But Turok is wearing a walking fortress, a shell as thick as dwarven plate. And the halflings? They've got leather straps and a prayer. What part of this is fair? Fair would be if they were identical. Same height, same weight, same strength, same skill. But if they're different, then fairness becomes illusion. And illusion is just a polite way to say lie. But whatever. I agreed to stand back, gracefully, strategically. Someone in this group has to play the long game, and then Clarity casts mage armor. So much for no magic. The fight begins. It's short. 2 halflings knock themselves out on Turok's shell. A few punches, a scratch or two. It's done. That's when the sky breaks open. An eye, massive and unnatural, opens above us. Beams of energy slam into the bridge. People panic. Flaming stones rain from above, bursting into glowing crystals that pulse like hearts. Like they're about to hatch. In the distance, dragons. Small, Made of fire? Turok collapses, his massive form trembling as he gasps. He says, I saw this, I dreamed this. He can barely control the fear. The others seem to have also seen this. It is not my vision, but if theirs are coming true, then this is concerning. The others freeze, eyes wide. Even the halflings look shaken. This eye in the sky, these flaming stones, the crystals pulsing with power like they're alive. If their visions are starting to come true, then so could mine. That cannot happen. I will not allow it. I've seen what comes if my vision becomes real. The board frozen, the pieces abandoned. This must not be allowed to happen.